How you doing? Engineer Boy 100. Today's video is the first of a two-part series that I'm going to do on air pressure monitors. Not too long ago, as you guys know, I ran over a nail and one of my tires was flattened, so I had to buy two new Michelin 4S's. Look at those. Those are nice. I'm really happy with these, but what I'm not happy with is the fact that I was driving around on a flat tire and didn't know it. So today, I'm going to open up this. Ooh, look what just came in the mail. Fancy, boxy. Yep, we're going to do an unboxing of a really cool tire air pressure monitor system. And I'm going to do one video, this one, on actually just how the system works, how it looks, opening up the box, installing it. And then the second video is going to be maybe 2 or 3 months out after I've been using it for a while, how I like it, pros and cons, things I don't like about it, and advice. So let's get inside. It's 100 degrees out here. Open this box, check it out. Okay, here we are. Here's the box. We're back on the bench. Let's take it out and see what is inside. Well, I know you're too far away. You want to actually see what's going on here? Come on in close. I need to show you what comes in the box. Okay, well, right off the bat, I like the presentation. They even have a little hole for you to take off the packing. And it has a little pad that goes on your dash, nice and small. This is what the unit sits on in the car. Okay. Instructions, nobody wants to go through those. And here is a bag of goodies. Comes with a lighter charger. It has the nuts, a cable. It's micro USB, not Type C, and it has a little wrench. All right, for tightening the nuts. And it even has a spare set of O-rings that go inside of the sensors, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, it has your dust covers that cover up the back of it to keep debris out of your sensors, and it has 2 wrenches. Now these wrenches actually come apart. One of them is for tightening the sensors onto the valve stem. Okay, it's for tightening, and the other one you use on the other side is for opening the unit. So I'll do that now. Why wait? You open it like this, and it gives you access to replace that O-ring that they sent spares, which is right here on the edge, right there, a little O-ring. And of course the battery, you just slide the battery out, and the battery is a CR1632. CR1632 is the battery. You slide it out, slide it in. It came with the batteries. I did not have to buy these separately, so that's a good thing. Additionally, if you don't like using this little wrench together, these halves actually come apart, and you can use them separately, independent of each other. And if it's going to give me a hard time coming loose, we're going to skip this part. But there you go. See, it comes apart, and you can use them independently if you want, or if you don't want to lose them, you can they just slide together, and that's how they come. So here are the sensors. I think we should come in this even a little bit closer so you can actually see what is written on them. So let's do that. All right, so check this out. They are wheel specific. For example, if you wanted to do your right rear, you would do this guy right here. Oh, come on. Oh, it doesn't want to focus, but this is the right rear. Just trust me. There's right rear, left front, and right front. So make sure you put the correct sensor on the correct tire so the information that you get is accurate. So the moment we've all been waiting for, the unit itself. It is really cool. It's nice and clean looking. It has 2 ways of charging. Of course, the micro USB that I told you about, the cable that came with it. It has a screen protecting little cover on here that you take off once you get it. It also charges with solar. So I guess if it works right, once you put it in the car, if you give it access to sun, you won't have to charge it again. But I did charge this in advance. You can see that it is fully charged. See if we can get this to focus. So yeah, it's fully charged right now. So I'm going to put it in the car so you can get a better idea of what the size is and how it fits on the dash in this particular car, which is the 996 Turbo 2003. So I'll meet you in the car, I'll show you how it fits on the dash, and then I will go ahead and turn it on and install each one of these sensors. Now, the sensors, I want to see how accurate they are, so I'm going to go ahead and put the tire pressure in the rears to 36 psi, just so we know in advance, and the front are going to be 33. So I'm going to do that in advance, 33 and 36, front and rear, and then we'll see what we come up with on the screen, see how that corresponds to what my gauge says the tire pressure is. And that should do it. Now, the second video I'm going to do on this little unit is going to be after a few weeks of use. Okay, because there were some issues. There's like 3 or 4 issues that people brought up. For example, there was concern about the O-rings in here, in these sensors leaking. Also, some people said after time there was a leak here at the little gasket. And my remedy for that is I'm going to put a little bit of oil on there. Not much, but I'm going to put a little drop of oil on that rubber gasket there before I screw these in. And you want to screw them in good and tight, and then you want to hold them in place with the lock nuts that come in the bag here. These little lock nuts. As a matter of fact, let me take them out so you can see them. But there's little lock nuts that go on first. The first thing you want to put on is your dust shield, then your lock nut, then your sensor, in that order, so that you can actually do it. But this is the little baggie of lock nuts that hold this in place. I should have opened this before. Sorry for making the video long. I'm not doing this on purpose to make the video long. I'm just doing this kind of on the fly. So yeah, these are, I mean, does anybody even care to get a good look at these? Here they are. These are the lock nuts that go on the back to hold this on. But you want to screw it on good and tight with the wrench first, the little provided wrench, this, okay? You want to screw it on good and tight, and then you want to come back with this lock nut behind it and screw this on to hold in place so it doesn't loosen up. And there's a provided wrench that you don't want to lose. Keep this wrench with you in case you need to air your tires or something. Keep this wrench in the car. Don't put it in this garage or in your toolbox. Keep this with you in the car. Alright, so let's get back to what I was talking about in terms of issues. Now, some of the issues were leaks. We talked about the O-ring inside leaking. We talked about the gasket part leaking. Another concern was the fact that these things do add a little bit of weight to the wheel and also to the valve stem itself. Now, the valve stem on some cars is rubber, and I really wouldn't recommend using these on those, to be honest. But my valve stems are metal, and they're very short, and they're also supported by a nut. I'll show you those right now, and then we'll come back and I'll finish up, and then we'll go install it. So let's take a look at my valve stems. Alright, so this is the valve stem on the Porsche right here. As you can see, I'll take the cap off. My valve stem is very short. It's metal, it's strong, and it's reinforced with a nut. So I'm not really worried about this little device with the angular, centrifugal velocity, force, F equals ma, all the different things people talk about. I can just look at it and tell this can withstand that amount of force. Now, the last and final issue is also valid. Some people say that having it on the rim will throw the tire off balance, and that's perfectly valid, especially at higher speeds. So if you do put these on, you may want to go and have your wheels rebalanced with the sensors installed. Okay, I got the dust boot on, and the lock nut is deep inside. Let me open it up so you can see, because I took a little bit of finagling to get that in there, but that's what it looks like. There's the lock nut, and that's the boot. Alright, so now I'm going to screw the sensor on. First I'm going to put a little drop of oil, little tiny bit of oil on the gasket inside the sensor. Make sure the sensor itself is tight on itself, on that O-ring, and then I'm going to screw it down on this valve. Alright, for those concerned about the weight of the sensor, let's go ahead and weigh one so you know what they weigh. We'll do it in grams, so let's go, let me see, units. Yeah, we'll do it in grams. So here's one. And it looks like they're about 10 grams. So if you want to go ahead and do the calculation, figure out what the force is at speed, 80 miles an hour, whatever, off you go. And I'm just going to put a little drop of Marvel oil, nothing too fancy. Put it right on the gasket here so that I can control it so I don't get it all clogged up with oil. I just want enough to make the mating surfaces kind of seal a little bit better, and that does help prevent leaks. See? Nothing crazy, just a little tiny bit of oil. Details make the difference between leaks and happy customers. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil on all these, and then we're going to install. See you over at the car. Okay, let's fill up the rears to about 36. Okay, and let's do both of the fronts to about 33. Alright guys, it's time to install this little guy. I've already wiped the dash down with this microfiber towel. So I'm going to take the little pad. It should stick nicely since there's no dust on the dash. And you can put it just about, you can put it on either side. I mean, there's plenty of room. We put it on the right side here. You can put it on the left side of, the sensor. So I'm going to put it over here because it's easiest for me to look at it when I'm driving. Just going to glance at it. So I'll put it right there. It can get plenty of sun. And I'm going to put it here. See if I can. Ooh, wow, it sticks. Holy smoke. Even put it on there first then, maybe. It sticks good. Alright, so let me see if I can put it like this. Look at that. And then we'll check out the pressures of the tires when I put the sensors on. And we know the rear should be 36. I mean, close. And the front should be 33. Now, the temperature variance and everything, but I'm doing it right now. So the temperature should be about the same. And, my pump that I use to pump the tires up, it's hard to tell with it. It's exactly. It's not digital. It just has those little lines. So if it's 37 or, 35 instead of 36, that's close enough. What we want to see is it's fairly close. Now I got to pay close attention when I install them and make sure I put the right sensor on the right tire. So I'll let you watch me do at least one of those so you can see how I put the dust cover on and how I put the little lock nut on, and use the little wrench tool to tighten down the sensor. So let's go back outside and install these sensors, then come back in here and see what the readings are. Alright, so this is the right front tire. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dust cover on, like so. You want that, and we'll pull that back up after we get the sensor on. Then I'm going to put the little lock nut on next. So put that all the way on so that we can tighten it up after we put the sensor on. So let's get that going. Alright, this is the right front tire, so this is the right front sensor. So double check, make sure we get that right. So I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to tighten it up with the little tool, and then I'm going to pull the nut in. So there's not a lot of room because my valve stems are short. So okay, a little air leakage, and there we go. I don't even think I need this tool, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of the video. Just put the tool on and give it a little torque down there. Now I'm going to try and pull that nut in and tighten it up against the back of this sensor so it doesn't loosen. And then look at that dust cover. It already wants to just cover everything. It's kind of hard to get in there with that, but got to get in there and pull that nut back up against the back. I'm probably going to need a tool or something to hold that out of my way. And these are details you're going to have to work out based on your application, but if you have a Porsche like mine, you you're going to deal with the same thing. So there's the nut. It's a little bit, yeah, there's a little bit of space. So we're going to have to tighten that this way. And I'm glad that we tightened this up so that as I turn this, I don't accidentally loosen it. So I know it's good and tight. So now I'm turning that nut until it makes contact, and then they have a little included wrench that you snug it up with. I'm going to do that to all 4 tires, which I'm not going to make you watch all 4 times. And then once we're done, we're going to go inside and see how our values correspond to what we aired it up to, 36 and 33. Okay, this one is fully installed. Wow, and it's not as conspicuous as I had thought it would be. They're not as big as I had thought they would be. Look at this. This is the normal valve cap. Okay, and it's a tiny little valve cap too. And this is what it looks like in comparison, and how big it is and how much it sticks out. See if I can get this thing so you can see the size side by side. This is how big it is. Not bad. If these work, I'm stoked. Because I'm not really worried about the added weight. 10 grams, please. This thing will be just fine. On a metal valve stem, people that are concerned about that haven't taken physics. And let them worry. I ain't worried about it. So let's get the rest on and check out the values. Alright guys, we've got all the sensors installed. We're getting ready to go inside. I'm going to give you guys an outside view so you can see what the receiver looks like on the inside from the outside, and then we're going to do a quick walk around and look at each individual wheel so you can see the sensors at different locations on the wheels. And here is the right front, right rear, go around to the left rear. So it looks like right there on top. Finally, we're going to go to the left front, and then we're going to go inside and see what values we have on the unit itself. I like them so far. If this thing works, I'm stoked. All right, so I just got the car started up, and the right rear has already registered before I even took off. I'm going to drive around a bit, get the others to register, and see where we're at. Now, it's at 41 PSI, but I was kind of working in the shade before and in the sun, so I would expect it to be a little bit high. So let's drive around a bit, get them all to register, and I'll show you what the rest of them look like. Okay, so my front left sensor just decided it did not want to work. If this happens to you, don't panic. These things sit on the shelf for who knows how long. So what I did was take the battery out and put it in this little tester, and we're going to put it up in contact. And look at that. It is bone dead. There is nothing in that battery. So I'm going to go get a new battery and try it again. Alright guys, we're rolling up on Walmart. Let's see if they have any 1632s and see if we can get these sensors to work. Oh man, look at all the TVs. Alright, let's see if we can find these batteries. Score. Alright, got the batteries. Let's do it. You know how I do it. Get back to the shop. Alright, look at that. As soon as we put the sensor in with the good battery, it popped up right away. 34 PSI, 39 PSI, 41, 41. So that's pretty good given the temperature outside, the fact that I've been driving already, and this thing's pretty accurate. So what I'm going to do now, drive for a few weeks, see how everything holds up, see if there's any leaks, any other problems, and I'll report back in another video. But for now, I feel like I'm gonna like it, but the jury is still out. We're gonna wait for the review video after 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so another cool feature, if you want to have it recalibrate and give you fresh readings, simply turn it off and turn it back on. The way you turn it off is the power button. You just hold it down, it'll beep, and it'll turn off like this. Hold it. It'll turn off. Wait about 2 seconds. Turn it back on, and all the readings will be blank. Turn it back on. There you are. All your readings are gone. Then if you drive like maybe less than a quarter of a mile, it'll recalibrate and you'll get fresh readings. So I'm gonna let you guys watch it calibrate so you can see how long it takes. So this is real time. Got the first two. Front tires. See how long it takes us to get the rears. Good. But we got one. Left rear. One more to go. Oh. Look at that. So that's how long it takes for it to recalibrate. Turn it off. And turn it back on. Alright guys, I just got back from about a 30-minute drive. And I think the temperatures are right about where you'd expect them to be. Very reasonably, very understandable. So, I mean, it's small enough to where it fits just about wherever you want it on the dash. So I gotta really say, I like that aspect of it. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was. And it has a backlight. I mean, let me see if I can get that to fire up here. It has a little backlight. You hit it, and so at night, you can actually read it at night. It's just nice, you know. It's fully charged, so there's a little solar panel on top here. Charges it. So I don't have to take it out and charge it and put it back in, but you can. And there's a provided cable. There is a provided cigarette lighter charger. I don't know. We're really going to have to wait and see. The jury's still out, but for now, I love it. So see you in a few weeks, and I'll let you guys know how it performed. Here's what the backlight looks like in low light. And another really cool feature it has is after the car's been still and not moving, and it doesn't detect any minor fluctuations in the tire pressure, it'll turn itself off. And it doesn't even need to turn itself off because it's got solar power. It's just cool. Okay, it's first thing in the morning, and I know this is not the temperature and these are not the pressure, so that tells me it's going to go ahead and have your latest temperatures and pressures until you move around a bit. So I'm going to drive around the corner and then see what it adjusts to and show you guys that. But it looks like when you first get in the car, it will show you your latest your last pressures before you stopped, and then it's going to have to readjust because I know it's early in the morning. This is not correct. And also, when I first opened the door, the light came on this little sensor. It was sitting there in the dark, and then when I opened the door, the light immediately came on. That was pretty cool. All right, let's go around the block and see how it adjusts. All right, so I drove like less than a block, and almost immediately it readjusted, and this is correct. So this little thing's pretty cool. I think I like it. So we're gonna let it go for a couple weeks, and then I will do video number 2. So thanks for watching. Hope everybody's safe out there, and have a nice day.